So I just picked up this lockbox. So in this unit, the resident just moved in. There was a lockbox on the door, so I came here to pick it up. In this video is about 3 different ways you can give the access to the unit to the new resident. So the first way to do it is to meet with the resident at the unit. So let's say the resident's moving in on December 1st. You set up a time and meet with the resident on this December 1st and give the key. It's pretty simple, but the problem is now the resident needs to be at the unit at a certain time, and property manager has to be at the unit at a certain time. And if one of us has some issue, then that's causing a problem. So I prefer the second way, which is to put a lockbox to the unit and give the code to the lockbox on the day of the move-in. So on the December 1st, I have a auto email set up so that the code will be sent to the resident on December 1st. This way the resident can move in anytime. Property manager doesn't have to be there. Of course, the only downside is that I have to pick up the lockbox, but I have to go to a nearby place anyway, so it's not going to be a big problem. And third way to have give the access to the resident is by having a lockbox permanently attached to the property, or have some kind of a smart lock by the door. In the challenge with having a lockbox is obviously you have to put a permanent lockbox to all the units you manage. Plus, there's always a security issue. What if somebody breaks the lockbox? Of course, you can say that with this lockbox also, but at least this is just for short term. But the other lockbox is long term. Now you can hide it in a place that is hard to find. So that's one option. So I guess there are 4 different ways. And the last one I want to talk about is to put some kind of smart lock and give the code to the lock. And I don't have to pick up the lockbox. The resident doesn't have to be at the unit at a certain time. So it's a win-win. The only thing is there's a cost for the installation of the smart lock. And also smart lock requires batteries. So you have to replace it occasionally. Of course, you can put it in a lease maybe for the residents to be responsible. In smart locks, it's electronics, so sometimes it's glitch out. If you want to be really fancy and be able to change the code from anywhere, then the lockbox requires a Wi-Fi. So that's another thing. Most of the time, we don't offer Wi-Fi, so that's going to be an issue. But there are different ways to give access to the residents. And for us, we just simply put a lockbox to the door, and the resident can move in anytime.